For weeks now, our own Ashley Berry has been talking to whistleblowers and investigating problem after problem from inside.
And every time she has done one of those reports, she has asked for a response from the director of the Phoenix VA, trying to get answers. Well, today, Ashley finally got that interview, and she joins us now live tonight. So, Ashley, what is she saying?
Well, she's telling me that little by little things are getting better here at the Phoenix VA, in part because of all of those stories that I have done. Issues have been brought to her attention, and she has taken immediate action to address them. And I can tell you that is true because many on the inside have kept me posted the entire time.
I have nothing to hide here. If we have an issue, I want to know.
Phoenix VA Medical Director Deborah Amdor says she takes that sacred trust of veterans very seriously. She sat down with me today after months of reports on long wait times, alleged medical mismanagement, and insider cries to me about veteran care.
As you say, staff did not feel comfortable bringing forward issues, and in fact, they were very fearful that there might be some punishment if they did so. So I've worked very, very hard to reverse that.
She said transparency is a top priority, not only for the veterans she serves, but also the employees who initially came forward to me, trusting me with critical information that led her to willingly take immediate action.
Since hearing that story, we did a very careful review of the processes. I have a team working overtime this week and this weekend to make sure that all of those veterans do get on the choice list and have that option.
In addition, the medical director says she has ensured the hospital has 24/7 mental health coverage and is currently recruiting more social workers and psychiatrists. Although she's only served at the troubled facility a few months, she says it is getting better. It's just going to take some time and patience.
We have work to do. There's no question about that.
And the director also agreed to sit down with me next week to address any further issues I might have.
Well, Ashley, you have been doing these reports for weeks, and as we said, you've been asking repeatedly for this interview. Did she give you any explanation as to why it took her so long to sit down and answer questions?
She didn't tell me anything specifically, but what I do believe happened is yesterday, Senator John McCain pretty much said she has an obligation as a public figure to come forward, to talk to the public, to answer to these veterans publicly. And she mentioned that today during the interview, so I think that may have had something to do with it. And of course, today being the 2-year anniversary of the scandal breaking.
All right, and hopefully we'll have a more open dialogue with her with these reports that you've been doing. Thank you, Ashley Berry, reporting. And as Ashley Berry mentioned, Senator John McCain has been watching Ashley Berry's reports too, and he wants answers. In letters to the Inspector General and the DOJ, McCain cited Ashley's interviews with VA whistleblowers and now wants both agencies to launch a full investigation into the scheduling violations at the Phoenix VA.
This is CBS 5 News at 5:30.
Whistleblowers inside the troubled Phoenix VA will not keep quiet, but the hospital's director is still sitting in silence.
Now, Senator John McCain is encouraging more insiders to come forward and wants the Department of Justice to get involved. Here's CBS 5's Ashley Berry with part 2 of her exclusive one-on-one interview with the senator.
We will pass another piece of legislation.
In a bold move, Senator John McCain now demanding full-scale investigations be held after insiders continue to shed light on the darkness within the Phoenix VA. This just days after employees clearly violated policy by pushing an internal petition to save embattled doctor Darren Deering's job.
These actions need to be brought to light, and the Justice Department has to act where it is appropriate to do so.
Actions whistleblowers like Brandon Coleman, Dean Trulock, and Jared Kinnaman have risked their jobs to report because they say veteran lives are at risk.
They are coming forward because they're brave and patriotic Americans, and thank God for them. As you know, it was whistleblowers that started this whole problem and brought this situation to light. So whistleblowers are not only allowed, they are encouraged, and they should be rewarded.
As for the painstaking process of removing leaders within the VA that have proven to be dysfunctional.
Why do you think it takes so long?
It's the protections that the unions have in the federal employees, and it needs to be changed. Yet I'm not optimistic because they're a very powerful organization. But we will stay on this and do everything we can to make those people responsible.
They can't get it right. They refuse to get it right, and veterans continue to die.
You know what? We'll get you in the system as quick as we can. Doesn't help the vet that goes home and blows his brains out that night.
It's completely horrific that a veteran could be deemed suicidal or homicidal, come into the VA, to the emergency department for care, get medically cleared, need to see a psychiatrist, and this email proves that there's no policy in place how to hand that veteran off.
This is the world we live in, where we accept substandard for our vets' health care as the norm.
The VA under fire. It's the big story tonight at 6.
Over the past few weeks, our Ashley Berry's been uncovering stories about Valley veterans who've been wronged by the agency created to help them.
And today she received a shocking letter addressed only to her from several employees on the inside. And she has reaction from one of the prime whistleblowers at the Phoenix VA. Ashley Berry joining us live with new information tonight at 6. Ashley.
And this time, that whistleblower has nothing to do with this letter right here that was addressed to me earlier today, signed by several employees within the VA, employees in management positions, talking about veteran suicides, the manner of death, etc. And tonight, that whistleblower reaction saying everyone in the VA has blood on their hands.
The letter cites disturbing details about veteran suicides and the lack of care they received at the Phoenix VA.
This is a small sample of the amount of veterans, the dozens and dozens of veterans that commit suicide in the Phoenix area every year.
Army Ranger Antoine Castaneda, seen here with his loyal boxer. Airman Andrew Hawley. Marine Sergeant Raul January, a loving brother and dedicated Border Patrol agent. And Navy veteran Thomas Murphy, an accomplished film and video producer. All 4 took their own lives in 2015 with a bullet. All of whom, according to this letter, the VA failed to help. In fact, Murphy killed himself in the regional office parking lot to help raise awareness.
There's no stronger statement that a veteran could make to a failed healthcare system and total disregard for his needs.
The letter calls for outside agencies to investigate the, quote, full scope of the atrocities committed daily at the Phoenix VA, and contains information only insiders would know and know how to cover it up.
The general public doesn't know what's really going on.
But this letter, written by staff at the management level who, for fear of losing their jobs, asked to remain anonymous, couldn't just sit back and watch, especially when lives are literally on the line.
There's so much corruption that runs all the way up to the top. It's like a cancer and it needs to be cut out.
And I reached out to Senator John McCain's office today. This is an email that they sent back saying obvious failures are going on at the Phoenix VA. They now investigating even further. He has really been very adamant about taking action against the Phoenix VA and making sure that these patients are well taken care of. The Phoenix VA, meantime, did get back to me tonight saying they are working on a response to this letter. Reporting live at the Phoenix VA, I'm Ashley Berry for 3TV.
Ashley, thank you. Stellar reporting. And over the past 2 weeks, she's been digging into a number of controversies at the Phoenix VA Medical Center. You can find our entire series right now on our 3TV News app.
Pure dysfunction. It is pure dysfunction.
All new at 5, a new VA insider coming forward, placing blame and producing shocking statistics.
We have been working very hard for our veterans to expose the truth. They've told us about their horror stories of canceled appointments, long wait times, and medical mismanagement for weeks.
And now a new insider shows us his face, coming forward only to our 3TV Ashley Berry, who's been the only reporter investigating these shocking new claims. Here's the story of a manager on a mission for change.
That insider providing me with this data about canceled appointments. We are talking in the tens of thousands just in the last 5 months. And that doesn't even begin to scratch the surface as to how many are still waiting.
pure dysfunction. It is pure dysfunction. That's the only way I can talk to him.
He laughs, but uncomfortably. It's the only way Dean Trulock can deal with what he's witnessed inside the VA. A complete disconnect, he explains, and says top brass is to blame.
They are not getting better. They're actually getting worse. That's been my experience through the time I've been here.
Trulock met us on his lunch break. The training manager for Health and Human Services at the Phoenix VA said the hospital doesn't have the leadership support to guide them out of a continued crisis.
If something isn't done quickly, we're going to lose our best people by the end of the summer. We've already started to. Those who've been carrying the load will not be here in August.
And those that suffer, he says, are the patients. The nearly 33,500 canceled clinic appointments in the last 5 months, and the more than 10,000 that haven't even been rescheduled. Some patients, managers admitted, quote, fell through the cracks. And sadly, he says, it was too late.
There's been a lot of people that have sacrificed a lot. As long as they know that there's someone on their side who is willing to walk around that VA, hold their head up high, but also look around to hold others accountable, well, then I hope I make a difference.
I asked Trulock if he was concerned about losing his job because of this interview and showing his face, and he said absolutely not, because he is only telling the truth. We hope to have an update from VA administration at 6. Reporting at the VA hospital, I'm Ashley Berry for 3TV.